What the hell is this? You're looking at the GBS-Control, a low-budget option for connecting your classic consoles to an HD TV, so long as your consoles can output RGB or component. The meat of this project is this fella here, the GBS board, which was created for arcade owners who wanted to switch from failing CRTs to nice and cheap LCD screens. Without modification, these boards are a bit naff, as they treat 240p sources as 480i, and they introduce a fair amount of input lag. Good luck beating ghouls and ghosts using one of these. Thanks to the GBS-Control project by Rama and the amazing community built around it, we now have proper 240p handling, low lag and more. This is actually the third GBS-Control that I've built, and it uses the GBS-8220 board rather than the standard GBS-8200. It requires some kind of fiddly extra modifications, but the result is a cleaner picture overall, and I highly recommend doing it if you feel confident enough to do so. By the way, this is a SCART to VGA board, which is how I connect my SCART devices to the unit. I'd previously just wired a female SCART socket to fit in this pin socket here, which worked absolutely fine. I just wanted something a little tidier looking for this particular unit. Yeah, tidy. The true magic happens here in this ESP8266 module. By flashing it with custom firmware by Rama and wiring it up, we unlock the full potential of the GBS board. We also have a clock generator over here which helps prevent screen tearing, though until more recent firmware updates, this wasn't infallible. If you want to learn how to build one of these, there are multiple guides on the internet, though I recommend both Voltar and Bob from RetroRGB's guides, most of all. My unit is a bit of a mix between the two. If you're an intermediate soldering hobbyist, this project is a lot of fun to build and can be done in a few hours. Nowadays, there are pre-built modules available on AliExpress, eBay, and even Amazon. I can't vouch for the build or picture quality of these devices, but I don't hear many complaints, and if anything, they're a lot tidier than any of my own GBS controls. In fact, with everything hooked up, this thing looks like a mad science experiment. As the GBS outputs VGA over the DE15 connector, you'll need a VGA to HDMI converter of some sort. Beware, while these dongles look the same, they vary in quality and compatibility. This video is based off my experiences and use cases with my own home-built GBS controls over the past couple of years. I've never hooked it up to a CRT, so if that's what you're interested in, look elsewhere. Anyway, that's enough of a preamble, let's look at the device. The GBS-Control can upscale to resolutions from 480p through to 1080p. I initially used 1080p mode for my oldest videos, but found that this introduced some vertical shimmering, which you can see here in Truxton. Fortunately, there are solutions. One is to engage the line filtering mode. This softens the image a bit, but it's perfectly fine, especially when you pair it with scan lines. If you still want a perfect 4x vertical integer scale, then the best solution is to use the 960p mode, equivalent to the OSSC's Line 4X option. This is where some compatibility issues could arise. My AverMedia Live Gamer 4K doesn't support 960p input, and vertically stretches it to 1024p, which isn't ideal. You can either re-squish the image in post, or for the purposes of this video, turn off matched presets in the GBS control menu, and then reduce the vertical scaling until the output reads 512. Now you have a 960p image in a 1024p frame. Nice! This is what I'm going to use to capture and display the footage today. Just a note, this means the unprocessed image will appear about 6% smaller than it would look at 960p, but that's neither here nor there. I'll show you the basic capture first, then I'll show you how it can look with some post-processing magic, mainly scaling and cropping. Starting off with the Mega Drive, which looks fantastic. It's common to have these borders with the system, and the GBS will allow you to crop these borders via the web UI. For this video, I'm doing it in post, which is a little more accurate, but you can pretty much get there with the actual unit itself. I don't have access to a one-chip SNES, but if you want to send me one, please do. The two-chip model has this slight smear across darker colours, which, to me, is almost like the classic SNES look. This is a 60Hz modded PAL SNES, and both the GBS and my capture card are handling it well. I don't have much to say about the Saturn other than it looks fine. I didn't test out any games that flip between 240p and 480i on this console, but I'm pretty confident it'll handle it the same way as the PS1 does, which we'll see shortly. The PS1 is kind of the Achilles heel of scalers like the OSSC and FrameMeister, as so many games run at different horizontal and vertical resolutions. Chrono Cross and Silent Hill are the big ones, with the latter being almost unplayable on the OSSC due to the 240p to 480i switches. There's no signal drop when switching from gameplay to the menu and vice versa in Silent Hill, however it does make the audio pop on my capture card. This doesn't happen on my TV, so it's definitely the Live Gamer 4K's issue. I wonder how our old friend the Humpy Dump handles it. Absolutely fine, of course. Now the firmware may have been updated since this video, so audio may now be more compatible than ever before.
What's going on here?
Three, 2, 1, go! The race is on. Show 'em what you've got. 3 laps to go.
You win. Round 2, fight. You win.
Did you wait long?
Get out of my way.
Get ready, fire!
The PS2 is a console that really benefits from the GBS-Control's secret weapon,
Motion Adaptive Deinterlacing!
The OSSC only has the very quick and efficient Bob deinterlacing, which I actually don't mind, though I appreciate it's not for everyone. Additionally, there are issues with image retention on certain display panels with Bob deinterlacing, and that may scare away some users.
I'm not sweet.
Get ready, fire!
Bob deinterlacing is still an option on the GBS-Control, and when paired with scanlines for interlaced content, you get a result that's extremely reminiscent of 480i gameplay on a CRT.
3 laps to go. That was crazy.
We have shot down the enemy. I have detected a Type C orbital frame in front of our position. It is different from the ones we have previously experienced. Please be careful.
I found you. Get ready. The runner is a child?
Give my regards to Megacorp. Finish him.
So there you have it, my GBS Control. If the pre-built models are anything like this, then I highly recommend them, especially if it's just for day-to-day gameplay. Video capture may be an issue for your capture card, but it's certainly more compatible than the OSSC at higher resolutions. The biggest downside of the GBS is that it's not the most user-friendly device if you don't know what you're doing. I wouldn't feel confident giving this to someone who isn't familiar with dicking around with a web UI menu and all of the individual settings. Disclaimer, I don't use the GBS Control very much these days because I've got a RetroTINK 5X for all my retro content. The main reason though is that it's just more convenient for my setup, and that includes recording and streaming, both of which benefit from the 5X's triple buffer mode. Up until I finally shelled out for the 5X, this thing combined with my OSSC was my main rig, and it did a fantastic job. What do you reckon to the GBS Control? Do you have one? If so, is it pre-built or did you make it? Let me know down below. Thanks so much for watching this video, and until next time, take care and goodbye.